At this time, we ask you to please rise if you are able, and please remove your hats for the playing of the Canadian National Anthem.
Well, check 1, 2. Welcome to Vaughan, Ontario Women's Premier League matchup tonight here at the Ontario Soccer Centre between the Premier League champion NDC, the National Development Centre, wearing the red and white Canada colors, going up against North Mississauga, wearing white jerseys with black trim. I'm Chris McKee. Appreciate you tuning in. Two teams on the opposite end of the League One Premier League table. NDC has already clinched the title, and so right now just kind of tune-ups. They will be headed to Hamilton August 9th to 11th to compete in the League One Interprovincial Championship. So they'll be playing, teams from BC, Quebec, to decide who will be the best in Canada. Right now, going with a much younger lineup than they have over the past couple weeks. In goal, starting number 32, Noelle Henning, 17-year-old from Milton. Number 38, Tegan Mellenhorst. Number 62, Maya Angus. 72, Victoria Rochi. The 16-year-old from Ottawa, Reese Kay. Number 78. 79, Olivia Chisholm, a 15-year-old from Toronto. 82, Amaretta, also 15. Adriana Bianchin, a 17-year-old from Oakville. 88, Brianna Gaynor, 17-year-old from Whitby. Number 4, Zoe Marcassini, 18-year-old from Markham. And finally, number 64, Isabel Chukwu, a 17-year-old. So starting tonight for North Mississauga in goal, Emma Nathans, also a 17-year-old, a youngster. Emma Steen, number 5. Number 6, Elena Parakunal. 7, Stephanie Guidi. 8, 9, Amanda Cripps. Number 11, Ravina Brach. She's an 18-year-old from Oakville. 14, Reese Fowler. 17, Darcy Fakney, 21-year-old from Innisfil. 27, Tamara Listener. And number 10, Carla Portillo. And finally, number 12, Emily Foster, the 20-year-old from Mississauga. So on paper, you look at this match and say, well, NDC is going to run over them. Well, they started out the season 14 wins, just 1 draw, undefeated in claiming that Premier League title. But since they've clinched the title, mentioned going with a much younger lineup, 2 losses in a row. They're only 2 losses of the season. So they come in 14 wins, 1 tie, 2 losses. North Mississauga, just 3 wins, 4 draws, and 10 losses on the season. And so, like I said, if this match was a month ago, we'd be looking at a bit of a lopsided affair. Tonight should be a reasonably balanced game. Gorgeous night up in Vaughan. It's about 25 at kickoff, just after 9 p.m. local time. Slight breeze coming in, maybe from the left to right on your camera. Nothing significant that's going to alter the game right now. Raining all day, so the field may be a little slick, but clouds are pretty clear right now, and so knock on wood, the rain should hold off. And we're off for the night. NDC is pushing the ball around the back. Is Victoria Rochi on the right side, and over on the far side, NDC up in the attack. Great wide ball down the right side. And it's Chukwu. Her twin sister, not in the lineup tonight, just Isabel, so just one of the Chukwu twins. And good hard challenge. Victoria Roche just ran through one of the North Mississauga players. Love that tackle. And then, she's going to get called with a free kick on. I thought it was just out, so ref didn't like it as much as I did. Reese Fowler right below us will take the free kick for North Mississauga. Olivia Chisholm in the middle of the field. Back just in front of the keeper. Bit of a sticky, muggy night here with mosquitoes out biting. Reese Kay, one of the center backs, 16-year-olds. Of course, all these ladies part of the national team program. Racing down the left side. Yeah, it looks like Reese Fowler pushed it back to Chisholm. Chisholm out to Roche. Chukwu tried to turn on a defender, and North Mississauga not having any of it. Well, Chisholm on her left foot. Number 82, Emma Retta, getting her first touches as well. Emma was 15 years old. You know, it was a buzz. I went into the soccer center where their change rooms are, just used the washroom before the game, and you get a look at some of the ladies on NDC. You know, normally I've done a bunch of women's Premier League games, so crossed in the middle, bouncing around, and no one can get on the end of that. North Mississauga just clears. But yeah, just seeing the girls coming out of the change room, they're so young. Like I said, I did North Toronto Woodbridge in the Premier League a couple weeks ago, and spoke to Jade Kovacevic after. Interviewed her for some video. She's 30 years old, and so a little bit of a different vibe seeing these NDC ladies, but obviously the best of the best in the country. And once the whistle blows, age out the window. Chukwu, she's got a wide open lane, left-footed shot, and then right at the keeper, Emma Nathans. So nice run from Chukwu, and then Emma Nathans, 17-year-old, is committed to play at the University of Evansville. Ball's given away, poked ahead, and then Nathans comes out and claims. Well done. So Nathans headed to the Missouri Valley Conference. I know Evansville's in that for basketball. Assume they are for soccer. A little bit different sometimes in the NCAA for soccer. They switch around. So, and then the conference realignment's getting out of control. It's hard to keep up with who's who. Tegan Mellenhorst, number 38. Just been buzzing around that left side. The opening minutes. Just under 4 minutes gone. Scoreless here at the Ontario Soccer Centre. Long ball in, looking for Chukwu. She was a little slow to recognize what the plan was. There was a great ball, though. And then cleared out of bounds by Emma Steen. Steen, a 20-year-old from Stittsville, plays her university football out at St. FX. A lot of these ladies will be leaving over the next 7 to 10 days or so, heading back to university. My son's gone back on the 9th up to Algoma. He's heading to his 4th year playing university soccer, so all familiar with it. NDC corner, far right, just about everyone up in the 18-yard box. And cleared up. And Amanda Cripps, 23 years old. That number 9 for North Mississauga. Couldn't connect on that pass up to the striker. This is Amanda Bianchin up top. Or sorry, Adriana Bianchin, forgive me. The media booth where I'm at is pitch black. It's hard to see anything in here. You know what I'll do? I'll pull my phone out and get the light. Can this turn? No? Stolen. And then North Mississauga gives it right back. Lovely push up. It's got to be 1-0, and it is. What a finish. Adriana Bianchin made no mistake about it. Great run by NDC, clinical, and the finish from Bianchin, the 17-year-old from Oakville. It's 1-0 NDC, 6 minutes in. So we finally just found some lights up here in the media booth to help me out. Like squinting to read some of the names. 1-0 NDC. Quick water break in between. Reese Fowler.
NDC goal scored in the 6th minute by number 87, Adriana Bianchi.
Chisholm sliding to keep that ball in. That was the goal scorer, Bianchin again, all over the field. So talking about, I did the men's Scrasopi Vaughan game last week, which is for the top of the table, and I've called games for CBC, TSN Radio, One Soccer, and Fox Sports, all of them. I've called over 800 games in soccer, basketball, volleyball. That game last week between Scrasopi Vaughan was the hardest thing I've ever done because we were right on the ground, right in between both benches, and I had both coaches screaming at me. So if I made a decision, like if I like the call against Vaughan, their coach is screaming at me back the other way. It was like I was getting abused on both ends. Good through ball, and then just cleared away from danger. Right thing to do. Looks like Darcy Fakney. Wind's starting to pick up a little bit. Here in Vaughan. For those unfamiliar, Martin Grove and Highway 7 area. Bianchin. I love her work rate already. Adriana just has not stopped running. Clinical finish. Just outstanding young player. This is the best of the best. Here's Bianchin again. Turns on her defender. Goes right foot. And then off the mark. But right idea, have a go from distance. 8.5 minutes gone. NDC lead 1. I mentioned uncharted territory for them, coming in, losing 2 in a row. But then I mentioned with that interprovincial championship coming up, you got to be a little bit more cohesive and in unison heading into those games. You wonder how many of the girls will be gone from university, or if that's why they'll ask their university coaches to, hey, can I get there a little late? Here comes North Mississauga, 2-on-1. Good opportunity to equalize. Shot from distance, off the crossbar, and it's cleared off the line. What a save. Noelle Henning just got enough of it. It hit the crossbar and then bounced just short of the goal line. We wouldn't even need VAR for that. It didn't go in. North Mississauga still on the attack. And shot from distance. Zero danger for Henning. It was Emma Steen. Elena Paracuno as well in that attack. There's Steen. Carla Portillo in the center of the field. Back to the keeper. And then what's she doing? And almost a calamity. Chukwu. And it's got to be a foul on Chukwu. She spun into the defender. Ref keeps the whistle in his pocket. Cripps. Cripps. Yeah. Just looking through, the oldest player on the field right now, I believe, would be the 23-year-old Cripps. That's the oldest. So a bit of a contrast to some of the other League One games we've seen all throughout the summer. Cut in, shot from range, and just wide. Right idea. So there's some fireworks going on in the back behind the North Mississauga goal. I'm not sure what the occasion is, but they look like proper city ones, not just some dude in the back of his yard shooting up some fireworks. Goal kick short. And then nodded forward by Mellenhorst. Chisholm. And then here comes Cripps. And then good hustle back on defense. Reese Kay just did enough to get it away. Throw in quickly taken. Cripps. Great switch. Offside flag stays down. Settles on the left foot. And then NDC defense just so many red jerseys back helping out. And Mellenhorst. And then a foul goes against Zanchin. And they take it quickly. Chukwu. She's got Zanchin on that run. She wanted it. She just didn't get it to her. Chukwu keeps it herself. Finally gives it off a little too late on that pass from Chukwu. You know, if you got a striker making a run that's shouting for it, you give them the ball. Unless it's, late in the game, you want to maintain possession. But, we're inside of 13 minutes. If someone's willing and able to make that run and shouting for it, get it to them. I was a former striker in my day, so I know the frustration when you're not getting the service you want. Victoria Rochi with the throw-in. Amaretta slicing through the North Mississauga defense and then away to safety again. So North Mississauga on their back heels, just NDC pressing. Already at 1-0. Mellenhorst. I'm so impressed with the physicality of NDC. You think, well, they're younger, they don't want to get in, they're just going to be... No. These ladies are tough as nails. Some of the harder challenges I've seen so far in the Women's Premier League so far. So, yeah, really impressive. Great ball down the left side. It was Maya Angus and won a corner. We'll just pass 14 minutes. Don't forget, if you are out there watching on the YouTube stream, click that red button, subscribe, stay up to date on all things League One, and drop them a follow. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever you prefer. Corner, trying to find Mellenhorst on some sort of set piece, and Amanda Cripps in a bit of a battle with one of the NDC ladies. It was Rochi. And Chisholm. Back to Rochi. Rochi to Chukwu. And great build-up from NDC, but North Mississauga parking that bus, every white jersey back, compact, trying to defend, trying to desperately keep this from getting to 2-0, because once it gets to 2, it gets to 4 pretty quick. Chisholm. Good switch. And shot from range. And no danger for Emma Nathans. also like hearing the communication amongst these ladies. I did a championship game last week, Pro Stars and Derby, and you could hear a pin drop at times. Steen cutting in, and then just too many red jerseys there to swallow her up. And then she looks like she stepped on someone's foot. I think it was Chisholm. Foul against North Mississauga. Perfect night for football in Vaughan, Ontario. Long ball. Trying to find Melon Horse. And Portillo. Stephanie Geedy. And then wins that back after giving it away. Good hustle. And errant pass. That's the thing. North Mississauga doesn't have to play perfect football, but they've got to minimize those needless giveaways like that against a squad of this caliber in NDC. Portillo. Cripps for Steen. And good dummy by Melon Horse. And she's got Bianchin there, and solid D again from North Mississauga. That's Tamara Lisser, 19-year-old, plays at Laurier University. Was her team's Rookie of the Year last year. Got the chance to go visit Laurier. My son was playing down there, road game for a weekend. Love that new soccer field they have. It's a little intimate, surrounded by all the dorms and their athletic center. It was a cool little vibe. Scorching hot day it was in September, October. It was unseasonably warm. But enjoyed the weekend down there in Waterloo. Chisholm for Chukwu. Annabella, or twin, the University of Notre Dame. Rochi. Oh, great turn by Melon Horse. She's got space. Gets it back. Rochi. Bianchin, the goal scorer. Emeretta up hovering around that 18-yard box as well. North Mississauga just so compact, not a lot of space once you get down in and around that 18-yard box. They're just hanging on for dear life, parking that bus, and then Amanda Cripps all by her lonesome playing up top in that number 9 position. That's a tough task for Chris, just by yourself for the most part, asking to hold it up when you got these NDC ladies just buzzing around you. Elite speed and athleticism all over the field. Chukwu cuts in. Retta on her right foot, and what a save! Emma Nathans. Good test from Retta, but Nathans having a good night so far. Nothing she could do on that initial goal, just a class strike from Bianchin, but she's made a couple big saves, or we could be at about 3-0 already. Like to see it from NDC, though, shooting from range. Keep testing the keeper. Both on the men's and women's side. Everything from, called League 2, Championship, Premier League. Too many people trying to walk the ball into that box. Just have a go. Cripps, and then again up there by herself. Good hustle to try to keep that in. It's Reese K. Reese from Ottawa, previously with Ottawa South, the OPDL. Good ball for Chukwu. Flag comes up. Yeah, it's shade offside. Good call by the linesman. 21 minutes gone, 1-0 NDC. Well, big shout out to our Canadian women's national team getting that huge win over Colombia the other day to advance in the Olympics in spite of the weight of the world on their shoulder. I was thinking about that on the drive-in. You know, obviously gifted. You know, they won the Olympics, already gold medalists before, and you know, one of the top 3 or 4 teams in the world. You know, they had the skill. It's the ladies' mental toughness that has been so impressive over the past week or so. Again, all this media and some vitriol against them, and then it's also made people like myself get behind them even more and support them. Chisholm picks up a little knock, but gets up a little worse for wear, but fine. Back to Henning. Henning headed to Colombia the end of August for the CONCACAF Championship, the U20. Also, following that, we'll head to East Lansing, Michigan to play for Michigan State. Here's Chisholm on a great run, slicing through. Lays it off for Chukwu on her right foot. A little bit too much hesitation. Just get it over. And Rochi saves it in. Now Rochi does swing in. And then Lisser clears away. Good patience by North Mississauga to build out from the back. Geedy down the right side. It's not a lot of build-up play from North Mississauga. It's almost just like hanging on for dear life. Bianchin to Mellenhorst. A little greedy from Mellenhorst. She had Bianchin and Chukwu open. Excuse me. Zoe Marcini. It's 18-year-old from Markham. Also part of that U20 team and plays her university football for the Princeton Tigers. Mellenhorst. And her touch let her down. She was past the defender and had a good shot on goal, and just ball got stuck on her feet. Steen and Chukwu in a battle. And then back to the keeper, Henning. Coming up on 24 minutes gone. The mosquitoes continue to eat away at me up here in this booth. Oh, good hustle. It's Brianna Gaynor. 17-year-old from Whitby. She's committed to the University of Cincinnati. Also runs track. You can see it there, just crazy speed. Here's Chukwu. It's got to be 2. Chukwu. And it is 2-0. Isabel Chukwu made no mistake about it. Calm as you like, slots it past the keeper, and it's 2-0 NDC. What a finish by Chukwu. You know, there was a sense it was coming for her. She's had a bunch of great runs. And that North Mississauga defense just kind of hanging on for life. And finally Chukwu with some space. It makes it 2-0. Isabel headed to Brown University down in Rhode Island. I played hockey there as a 12-year-old back in the late 1980s. We went down to Rhode Island for a week. We got billeted. That's when people would allow, just dump your kids with strangers in a foreign country. That's when we did. We stayed with a great family down there. It was a lot of fun, but they took us to go watch Providence College play hockey against Wisconsin. That was an experience. And then played, I think, 2 or 3 of our games at Brown University. Gorgeous, especially in the fall. that neck of the woods. Marcassini. There's Mellenhorst. She's all over the field. Mellenhorst dancing around. And crossed over. Nobody in red there. Rochi. And then again, North Mississauga content with just getting it up the field. Reese K settles for NDC. Well, big congrats to FC London, the League One Cup winners during the week. I think it was right here at this field. Saw some of the highlights on the Instagram. Emeretta to Rochi. And an offside on someone. I'm not sure it was on Bianchin, but someone in red offside. 27 minutes gone. The mosquitoes eating us alive up in this booth. I got bit. I go running every day, do about a 6K run down to the bay, 3K there, do a little workout down there, and then come back. I was doing some push-ups. Got bit by an ant, and my entire left arm swelled up like abnormal the other day. So some of those red ants, and I'm down there trying to do some push-ups, get the sweat in, and bugs eating me alive. 2-0 NDC, courtesy of strikes from Isabel Chukwu and Adriana Bianchin. Both of them lovely goals. And both not much Emma Nathans could do about them. Rochi. She had Mellenhorst with her. Chukwu. Great switch. And Retta. Chisholm. You know, these NDC ladies, it's not a knock on North Mississauga. These are some of the best players in Ontario as well. Bianchin turn. Ooh, foul. And ref keeps the whistle in his pocket. Maybe a shout for a penalty there, but perhaps didn't want to be too cruel. And awarded inside of 29 minutes with NDC up 2-0 already. I mean, if we had VAR, maybe there's a shout for it, but not happening tonight. Cripps, and then dispossessed by Reese K. I mentioned just different level of player. The speed and athleticism on these NDC girls just jumps out at you immediately. Because it's my first time calling their game this season. First time doing League One this year. I've done a bunch of games already, but did a bunch of Canadian Premier League games last year. Retta. Looking for Gainer, but too much. I got a little heat on the live stream last week and doing that Scrisapi Vaughn game. We got to realize, like, I have no replay monitor here. I got nothing I can see that kind of, to go back and look to see if I made the right call or the wrong call. No producer in my ear to say, hey, that was number 12, not number 6. And so when you call games for One Soccer and that, I have three different producers literally in my ear. So as soon as a goal happens, they're like, it's 6-6. And so you know right away as I'm making the call exactly who it is. We don't have any of that. It's just me with a handheld microphone, no headset. Again, no. Thankful for the opportunity. Just say it is a little bit more challenging than some of the other broadcasts I've been involved with, and trying to work through it. Really enjoyed the opportunity to call the Scrisoppi Men's Alliance game a week and a half ago down at Varsity Stadium on a Wednesday night. It was cool. Just getting to be in Varsity. So much great history in that stadium. It should be white ball. It is. North Mississauga ball. Reese Fowler with the throw-in. Portillo, 28. She would be the oldest on the field. I made them thought it was Cripps earlier. I just realized Portillo's 28. Storied career at the University of West Virginia. Former first team All Big 12. See, that's one of the things I didn't have the producer correct me. Retta. She's got Rochi on the run. Love seeing that. And that right back getting up in the attack. Good flick on. And here comes North Mississauga. Fake knee. And dispossessed. Reese K. She's got Bianchin. Oh, Megzer. Bianchin, and then left foot just over top, and it touched the top meshing, but nutmeg accomplished. Adriana Bianchin. That would have been an all-world if she was able to finish that. You would have seen that all across socials. Nathan's previously played with Vaughn. Mellenhorst on her right foot from 20-something yards out and just past the goal. So Mellenhorst, lovely strike about 22 yards out. A diving Nathan's just sees it wide. NDC can smell blood in the water. If you're interested, go watch these ladies down in the Hamilton area. If you're in the West End, anything Oakville, Burlington, Stony Creek, Niagara, wherever, look into some tickets to go check out the League One Interprovincial Finals, August 9th through 11th, Tim Hortons Field. It's obviously the home of Forge FC. And I know Hamilton United, with the men and women, use that occasionally. Portillo. Geedy. And poor pass, but at least back hustling to win the ball back, and Nathan's comes out and saves both her defenders. Like I said, it's not, they don't have to be perfect, but it's just some of the obvious giveaways. You got to be a little bit more crisp and passing the ball around, or NDC will punish you. Oh, Mellenhorst. Oh my goodness, what a strike. Mellenhorst just weaved through everyone, and Tegan Mellenhorst makes it 3-0 NDC, and that's the best of the lot so far. Mellenhorst, just 16 years old, part of Canada's U17 national squad, already committed to North Carolina State University. Outstanding. Well, 3-0 NDC, 35 minutes gone, and the floodgates have opened.
NDC Ontario goal scored in the 35th minute by number 38, Tegan Mellenhorst.
That was some strike. That was a thing of beauty. Well done, Tegan. Well, FTF, which big shout out to the FTF guys, do a great job of trying to identify some of these youngsters. They had Tegan as the number 2 prospect in the class of 2025. And you can just see, I mean, just outstanding skill, great awareness, can shoot from range. That one, a thing of beauty. So that's a name you're going to be hearing for many years to come. There's Melon Horse there. Retta. Retta wants into the attack for Bianchin. She's already got one. And shot from range. Maya Angus wants in on it too. Maya, 16-year-old from Ottawa. Just amazing to see the level of talent coming through this women's national team program. They'll be in good hands for many years to come. There's always that question, who will be the heir apparent to Christine St. Clair? Well, how about Tegan Mellenhorst? And Cripps up there, owner Lonesome Marcassini. Go track it down. Already played 1 year down at Princeton, 18 games played in the NCAA last season. The Ivy League, I know a couple kids that have played Ivy League basketball. They do basketball commentating as well, and they always talk about, it's not about the 4 years of playing there. It's about the next 40 years of your life getting that Ivy League education. Gaynor trying to get through, and Emma Nathans claims it. Coming up on 38 minutes. Long boot up. Cripps. An arduous task for Amanda Cripps tonight, playing up top for North Mississauga. She's not getting the service and the ball she wants. Good tackle from Darcy Fakeney to show, North Mississauga not willing to roll over just yet. Still got some fight in them. Fakeney, 21-year-old, plays at Upper Iowa University after stints at Stephen F. Austin, down in Texas, and then also at York University. And there's the biggest bug you've ever seen crawling on the desk right now. Gaynor. Lovely step over, and trying to find Chisholm, but North Mississauga back to clear. Fakeney. Jesus. Chisholm. Chukwu. She's already got one as well. Fakeney, and the connection not there with Cripps. From Chris McKee, appreciate you tuning in here at the Ontario Soccer Centre. League One Premier League champs NDC already up 3-0 over North Mississauga. So NDC coming in on back-to-back losses after starting off with 14 wins and 1 draw. And looking to get back on the winning side as they head into that Interprovincial Championships coming up next week. Well, the August-long weekend here in the Toronto area, of course, Caravana on. I think Veld's on this weekend, the big EDM festival as well. I got my EDM festival fill a couple weeks ago. Went to Electric Island down at Fort York. Had a blast. NDC. It was gainer for Chukwu. Chukwu on her left foot. Chukwu, so good. She's got the North Mississauga defense in a panic. Rochi up trying to help out. Rochi crossed, and Emma Nathans scoops that up. It's past the 41-minute mark. NDC with strikes from Zanchin, Chukwu, and then an all-world one from Mellenhorst. All three really nice goals. Chukwu cutting through and can't connect with Zanchin. All NDC in the first half. North Mississauga, just that one chance that hit the crossbar. That would have been a big boost for them, but luck not on their side. And flicked out, still NDC ball. Handball. It's got to be a handball. Linesman's right there. You got to make that call. Trying to help out North Mississauga in some way here. Oh, clever little flick from Zanchin, but Chukwu not ready for it. And then goes and steals it. Chukwu crossed over. And what a save, Emma Nathans. That was Emma Retta from just inside the 18-yard box. Could have been 4, but great save from Nathans again. You know, as the parent of a goalkeeper, I definitely feel for Emma Nathans. She's been outstanding, but sometimes it's just, you know, when you're being peltered with this many shots from this many angles, there's not much you can do. Rochi. And that one too simple for Nathans. Well, 43 and a half minutes gone. All NDC in the opening half. I mean, coming up in the second half, I think North Mississauga's got to have some kind of push. They got to try to, you know, work on some sort of counter here because they're just sitting too far back eventually. You got to have a go at it, throw the kitchen sink at them once, because if it's already 3, who cares if it gets to 5? Try to make it 3-1, and then put a little pressure on NDC. Mellenhorst.
Hey, we gotta stop! Get to me! Get to me! Come!
Of course, some of these ladies will end up playing internationally at the senior level for other countries. We saw some of the girls eligible for, I think, Guyana, England. You never know. Would obviously being a part of this program, them featuring for the senior women's national team, the end goal for many. The names you'll hear 2, 3, 4, 6 years from now, some of them. A couple 15, 16-year-olds out here. Just past the 45-minute mark and 0 extra time added. That'll do it for the first half. So at the end of 45, NDC 3, North Mississauga 0. I'm Chris McKee. We'll take a 15-minute break and see you back for the start of the second half. Welcome back to the Ontario Soccer Centre in Vaughan, Ontario. Women's Premier League matchup. The champions with a 3-0 lead at half, NDC over North Mississauga, courtesy of a glorious strike from Tegan Mellenhorst. Isabel Chukwu with another nice goal, just placed it past the keeper, Emma Nathans. And Adriana Bianchin also with a nice goal to start things off. And so, don't know about substitutions just yet. I am up above there's like a little red tower for those familiar with the Ontario Soccer Centre, and I'm 2 levels above the scores table. So I'm relying on the app, the League One app, which you should download. So here we go. Looks like we've got some substitutions at the half. Bianchin, the goal scorer, out. Jada Schoberg, number 58, will come in to replace her. Schoberg is 17-year-old, committed to the University of Buffalo. It's one of those ones that he plays for Guyana at the U20 international level. No substitutions I'm aware of yet for North Mississauga. Like I said, if you're North Mississauga, at some point, you got to throw the kitchen sink at them. Get a press, throw everyone up in the attack. You know, that first half, they just had that one striker, Amanda Cripps, up top, all by her lonesome, and then just parking that bus somewhere around the 18-yard box to about 25 yards out, staying compact, trying to minimalize the scoring. But it's 3-1, or sorry, it's 3-0. You got to at least try to make it 3-1. Get there, and then once it gets 3-1, hope and pray you can dig out of that hole. NDC ladies dancing away as they come back on the field, enjoying the music. Good selection from our in-house DJ. We had some Van Halen and then some Sean Desmond following. So for those unfamiliar, before I worked in sports broadcasting, I was a music agent for 20 years. I'd worked for the biggest agency in the country. And one of my clients was Sean Desmond. I helped develop his career from nothing into something. So Schoberg in. We are going to have a couple North Mississauga subs. 21, of course, I don't have a 21. And then we'll get that once they update the app. We'll get to that in a minute. Just let's check on. So Amalia Apostolou, there we do. I do have a 21. I had her as 12. Apostolou, 16-year-old from Mississauga in, and we got another sub we'll find out just momentarily. So Schoberg now.
Ontario substitution at halftime.
So Parakunal out of the game, and Apostolou in.
Schoberg enters the match, and exiting the match is number 87, Adriana Bianchin.
Which, on top of it, just a gorgeous night for football. Maya Angus with the throw in right in front of us. Marcassini. Zoe, an 18-year-old from Markham, Ontario. Reese Kay, outstanding in the first half as well. To Chukwu. And Maya Angus gets back Alicia Sutcliffe into the game, number 3. That's it. 22-year-old from Mississauga. She's replaced Stephanie Geedy. Sutcliffe plays her university football at Queen's University up in Kingston. She's been there since 2021. And that ball bounced off the NDC dugout and over the fence. Gainer. And that's Schoberg just into the match, getting their first touches. Yeah, Mellenhorst fouled by Cripps, but No foul called. Ref hasn't had a lot to do tonight. No real controversy. No calls that you could think were atrocious in any way. It's been a pretty reasonable game as far as the referee goes. Good physical affair in the first half.
One more North Mississauga substitution at halftime. Entering the match, number 21, Amalia Apostolou. And exiting the match, number 6.
And it's Steen. So Steen looks like she switched over to the right side. She was playing down the left side first half, and some of the substitutions. She's still on the near side of the pitch. There's Apostolou just into the game in the mix from Applewood Heights High School. And Emma Nathan's under a little pressure. Just boots it to half. Steen. Ravina Brach, 18-year-old, plays at McMaster. 7 games played last year in the OUA. Just 1 goal. A lovely ball up, but well read by Apostolou. Shot from range by Schoberg. So beyond Chanel, Schoberg, 0 drop-off. Chisholm had to go from distance, about 26 yards out, but just trickles into the arms of Emma Nathans. I've been watching some of the Olympics. Obviously, I've been watching the women's soccer. Some of the other Olympics. So the men's basketball I'm really into. Some of the swimming was checking out. Here's Cripps. North Mississauga, shot from range, and then 0 danger. Noelle Henning. She's only been tested the once, made the save, just got enough of it in that first half, and then ball hit the crossbar, bounced just in front of the goal line on the good side for the keeper, and unfortunate for North Mississauga. Yeah, checking out some of the swimming. A little frustrated. I have a golf radio show called This Week in Golf. It's on Newstalk Saga 960 in Ontario, and then throughout BC on Radio NL Kamloops, which is a big station out there, and then they've got it on 2 of their smaller stations, northern BC, so you can hear it throughout Ontario, BC, and Alberta. But you can't watch any of the Olympic golf anyway. I got to go on an app. I'm not really a fan of. Retta, and ooh. NDC still hovering. Emma Retta again. She's had a couple good goes from distance. They continue to test Emma Nathans, who's been up for it for the most part. There's nothing she could do on any of those 3 goals. Oh, clever from Retta. Just so good, these NDC girls. Angus. There's Mellenhorst, just so skilled. And NDC will reset. Reese K. Mellenhorst. And then good hustle from North Mississauga, just hanging on for dear life. Well, traffic fairly reasonable heading up here. There's Maya Angus on her left foot. Angus off the crossbar. NDC still at it. Tegan Mellenhorst looking for number 2. Good shot from Angus. And Chisholm. I was chatting about the NDC program with my son yesterday. We were out doing a little training session in the heat. Got a good sweat. I have my goalie coaching certification, so once in a while I'll run him through a training session. Hold on. Oh, Melon Horse just threw her legs. But, sometimes obviously the NDC program, outstanding, but you wonder maybe, those girls on the squad that are kind of 16th to 22, not in that starting 11, it's like, being stuck behind some of the other girls isn't in their best interest. But then also on the flip side of it as well, they're training with the best of the best, and iron sharpens iron, and you're going to elevate your game that way. So an outstanding program, NDC, but certainly not the only pathway to having success in soccer. So many other great programs coming up on the youth level. Vaughan, Woodbridge, Unionville has been for years as well, and see North Toronto, so many good ones as well. Ball up. Will the flag stay down? It does for now, and North Mississauga showing signs of life at the 54-minute mark, getting up. And so there's the one where you got to get everyone up. They've got a corner. No need to. They've got two girls back through. They should have one back, everyone up. Alicia Sutcliffe, one of those two creeping up. 34 games played in the OUA over the past couple of years for Sutcliffe. Just came in as a substitute at half, and now NDC also their entire team back in that box defending. They don't want to concede. Portillo, and then NDC just away from danger. And Henning comes out to claim that. Angus with Steen and chase for Schoberg. And won a corner for NDC. Well, don't forget, drop a subscribe to the League One YouTube channel. If you're sitting at home watching or on your phone, click that red button. Stay up to date on all things League One. And of course, hit them with a follow. Instagram, I love following their Instagram. They got to up the Twitter game. Be as equally as relevant as their Instagram, because I'm more of a Twitter guy. And they do have a TikTok. I heard the halftime announcer say so. So I do not have TikTok. League One does. North Mississauga clears. We're going to see another substitute. Jordan Archer will enter the game momentarily. We don't know who she will replace just yet, but number 20, a substitute about to enter the game for North Miss. And then just that one cleared into next week in the bushes, and that ball may be a toy for a coyote tonight. It's well into the bushes. So Archer into the game. And Emma Steen out. Good run from Steen. Played well tonight. She's a 20-year-old from St. FX. 36 games played with 35 starts for a university out in the AUS.
North Mississauga substitution.
And Jordan Archer, 25-year-old, into the game.
Minute. Entering the match, number 20, Jordan Archer. Exiting the match, number 5, Emma Steen.
So game meaningless for NDC anyway. Already claimed that title. But, 2 straight losses for them. That's not going to sit well with anyone within that program. And so important for them to get back in their winning ways tonight. for Cripps. And, oh, unlucky. Just that connection almost. She had fake knee up with her. And just smothering D from the NDC. Cripps. Gainer with Chukwu. Chukwu's got space and takes it. Chukwu. Oh, leaves it for Mellenhorst. Tegan Mellenhorst off the crossbar and it bounces off the top of the net. What a shot from about 20 yards out. And kiss the woodwork. If you're Emma Nathans, that one stayed out. Oh, Mellenhorst already with the goal of the night. That's Screamer. It's the third goal for NDC in the first half. It was back in the 38th minute. Chukwu, second goal in the 25th minute, and then Bianchin, 6 minutes in, opened the scoring for NDC. Well, 59 minutes gone. All NDC, for the most part. Possession, probably about 70-30 in favor of NDC. Well, thankful for a night game here up in Vaughan. We've had a couple scorchers calling games in the afternoon. Did one last Saturday out in Mississauga at that Mattamy Park with the Pro Stars and Darby, and oh my God, just got absolutely cooked. I went in, they had a splash pad, like a community splash pad for the kids right next to the field. I went in at halftime, and I went in again at the end of the game. That's how hot it was. It's like, thankfully, a little bit more comfortable setting, even for the ladies out in the field. Of course, women's professional football coming to Canada next season, so there's going to be some opportunities for ladies in this league. Be curious to see how that does affect the high end of the League One. Already announced, I saw yesterday on the League One socials, Toronto FC will not be in League One again. They're in. I wish they'd make up their mind. They're in, they're out, they're in, they're out. They're out again next year for some MLS Next situation. They're adding a U18 team or something, and they won't be League One. Chisholm trying to find space, but can't. And Chukwu. Retta. And NDC hovering and swarming that 18-yard box. You can sense the fourth coming. Oh, what a ball up. And offside. Unlucky. That looks like Roche up in the attack. And just offside. So a sigh of relief for North Mississauga. Well, long ball up. I think they got to play a little bit more old school, that U12 ball almost. North Mississauga, just kick and chase. Push the ball up the field. Hope for a lucky bounce. And make sure your strikers and wingers are ready to run. Back to Henning, which headed to play for the Michigan State Spartans. Well, congrats to her and her family. Awesome opportunity. What a ball up. Mellenhorst for Gaynor. And the first touch, a little bit too much for Gaynor. Which Gaynor also runs track. Some of the Canadian track and field starting to pick up for the Olympics. Always the highlight, the men's and women's 100 and 200 and the relays. The League One trophy here tonight. Looks like they're going to have a trophy presentation following, because they've got the League One trophy down at the field level. Marcassini in the attack. Crossed over. It comes to Chisholm. Ball just bouncing around. Gaynor just couldn't quite settle for. Had a poke at it, but well over the goal. It remains 3-0 in the 64th minute. Impressive performance by NDC tonight. Mellenhorst just buzzing around. Just an absolute nightmare to defend. And keep in mind, still just 16. We're going to see some substitutes coming in for NDC momentarily. One of the subs, Annalisa Colangelo, will come in, number 63. I can't see the other number just yet. I'll let you know momentarily. NDC still at it. Chukwu down that right wing. Speaking of a nightmare to defend, just outstanding speed. She's twitchy as well. Just her athleticism can take on any defender one-on-one. And it looks like Chukwu will be removed. And then number 43 is Emma Donnelly coming in. 16-year-old from Scarborough, from Birchmount Collegiate. My neck of the woods. I grew up in that area. My older brother went to Birchmount High School. Of course, Birchmount High School, home of the Grammy-winning R&B singer The Weeknd, the Canadian superstar that performed at the Super Bowl halftime, about 2-3 years ago now. Scarborough dude from Mornell Court, which is up in Morningside. And if you're familiar where the Pan Am Center is on Morningside, just south of the 401, that's where Mornell Court is. And got the chance to call a game at Birchmount Stadium a couple weeks ago, which was a buzz because I first played in that stadium as a 4-year-old way back in the 1980s. That's foul push in the back. That's Emma Donnelly just into the game and want to cause a little havoc. Well done. Well, North Miss doing a good job. This is just that long ball. They're pushing a bunch of white jerseys up, so trying to force the hand of NDC. Portillo. Looks like she's pushed up a little. There with Jordan Archer as well. Fake knee. And then dispossessed. Chisholm. He's got Schoberg down the left wing. And good tackle from North Mississauga. 67 minutes gone. Would imagine we'll see a few more substitutes. I can see someone on North Mississauga getting ready, coming up to half, so we'll have another North Miss substitution momentarily. Chisholm. Cripps. And then cleared away. So we're going to see Danielle Santorello, 17-year-old from Woodbridge. Santorello, excuse me. We'll get there. And it's going to be Darcy Fakney out of the game. And Santorello in. She's 17 years old. Good run by Darcy Fakney tonight. Played well. Again, just not a lot of room to operate against these NDC girls. Once you've just joined us, talked about the first half. Well, NDC already clinched. 14 wins, 1 tie. And then they given the title and then obviously went with a little bit of a younger lineup and then lost the last 2 games coming into this. And so 3 points certainly on top of the list tonight for the players and coaching staff. North Mississauga comes in closer to the bottom of the Premier League table. 3 wins, 4 ties, 10 losses. Archer out there fighting. And then just Marcassini brushes her off. I mean, that's solid defense. Chisholm looking for that long ball. Cripps can't make the connection with Archer, and the clock will tick away. With NDC comfortable. Yeah, can't make the connection. That was Annalisa Colangelo. Retta, you think she's due, cuts in on her right foot, and then Lisser just gets it out. Shot from range and over top. So Emma Donnelly just coming into the game and making her presence known. Impressed so far with the 16-year-old. I talked about this at the opening, about how young the NDC girls. I keep in mind, I do high school basketball as well. The OSBA, it's the top prep school, and so I do boys and girls, and so I'm around, high school players, both boys and girls. They even look specifically young compared to some of the girls that do basketball. Some of the basketball, they're kind of there till about 18, 19. The better players would be more kind of 16 to 18 in those leagues. Crossed over and cleared away. They may be baby faces for now, but assassins as soon as they cross that white line onto the pitch. Every one of them just outstanding. So impressed. Marcassini long ball, but can't connect with Mellenhorst. Marcassini with Vervina Breach over her back, but comfortable back to the keeper, and NDC will regroup. Amaretta. Getting a little sloppy here from NDC. Some long balls that maybe a little unnecessary. They got to play a little bit more compact. There's a big gap between those midfielders and then those forwards up top pushing. I'd like to see them be a little bit more condensed. And then just boot it away. Sutcliffe. Well, remember that name, Tegan Mellenhorst, just unbelievable. I mean, on a field full of elite talent, she's just really jumped out to me. And we're going to see another substitute. It's Nyla Dory Anderson coming into the game. And it looks like Amanda Cripps out. So Amanda probably gassed by now the amount of running she's done. The Niagara University product. 34 games, for the Purple Eagles over the past couple of years before playing at Eastern Michigan, and she's done for the night. Nyla Dory Anderson, 18-year-old from Brampton, scored last week, so maybe she can recreate that, and then we're going to see another sub coming in for NDC in just 1 second. We're going to see Catherine Ozard, 17-year-old, who's committed to Arizona State. So Reese Kay, who's been excellent all night, tip of the cap to her, just rock solid in that back line. She's done for the evening with a 3-0 lead, and now Ozard will be tasked with keeping that clean sheet intact. Ozard headed to Tempe, Arizona, to Arizona State. What a throw. Or what a kicking, excuse me. Well, that was a throw. It was a free kick. I was looking down at my notes quick. I had the chance to go to Tempe, God, about 20 years ago now. So beautiful. Archer. She got Dory Anderson with her. So fresh off the bench, Dory Anderson shot a goal. And off the side mesh. But hey, North Mississauga showing signs of life in the 75th minute.
Substitution in the 74th minute. Entering the match, number 77, Catherine Ozard. Exiting the match is number 78, Reese Kay.
Well, great run by Dory Anderson down the right side, and you know, that's that just fresh off the bench. You can almost hear her heart beating from up here. You got to be a little bit more composure, try to get that on goal and test the keeper. Gainer. And then Emma Nathans comes and just gets it away from danger. I mentioned that Arizona State. So I was there in like July over the summer. Well, it was 20 years ago. But when you walk through the downtown, they have like, you know, a garden hose with, they poke holes in them. So there's all these light mist, just a spray of mist all throughout all the restaurants and kind of like their downtown district because it's so hot even at night. And so they just, that nice little mist is a good relief if you're walking about town. So probably for the ladies, don't wear white. If you're walking in downtown Tempe, great ball up for Mellenhorst. Settles and was trying to cut back to her right foot. Still dancing around with it. Good ball, and she's offside. It was Donnelly up in the attack. Easy call for the linesman right in front of her. 76 minutes gone. Well, enjoyed my first season here calling League One games. Good mix of men's and women's action. I will be in my neck of the woods next week, Pickering versus Masters, which two clubs I know intimately. I know a bunch of the Pickering coaches. And then my son played there as a real young kid and then moved to Masters. We bounced around Markham Whippy and then has been with Masters for the most part for the past 5 years. Until this year. That and it's about a 6-minute drive from my house to the Pickering Soccer Center, so I'll take it. And got some couple matches. I think the next 3 after that are all Scrisoppi. So top top of the table team in the men's division, so looking forward to seeing some of that. Hopefully keep tuning in on the League One live stream. Marcassini for Mellenhorst, and the turf too much even for Tegan Mellenhorst. Just a little reckless, sloppy at the back from North Mississauga. Not what the doctor ordered. And that's Annalisa Colangelo off her shin. Out for a throw-in. So NDC will try to pin North Mississauga in that far corner. No signs of any more subs coming for now. NDC rarely, well, they got 3 keepers on the roster tonight, which is a rarity. I thought maybe you might see a keeper switch just to get one of the other girls some minutes, but I think the clean sheet, top priority as well now for NDC with a comfortable 3-0 lead. Colangelo, Meg's her defender, cuts through left foot, and then North Mississauga just throwing bodies at it. It looks like Sutcliffe. Little sting after that shot hitting her. Mellenhorst again. Colangelo, nowhere to go. Retta. Chisholm on her left foot and off the post and in. Olivia Chisholm from about 25 yards out. She seemed due. She's had a couple cracks on goal. Luck not on her side until finally in the 80th minute. Olivia Chisholm makes it 4-0 NDC. And another sub we're about to see, Sabrina Mora entering the game. And Brianna Gaynor, her night's done. So just a cruel twist for the keeper, Nathans. Thought she had it covered and then hit the post and then bounces in. And so each strike has had to be almost perfect to get past this keeper. Again, not much she can do on any of them, but lovely hit from Chisholm, 4-0 NDC. I think it was definitely due for Chisholm. She's had a great night in there at center of the midfield. And again, just 15 years old. Scoring 25-yard strikes in the Women's League One Premier League.
NDC Ontario goal scored in the 80th minute by number 79, Olivia Chisholm.
Chisholm. We'll try to get some interviews with the girls following. Usually try to speak to one or two of the goal scorers. Archer. Archer on her own, and they just can't outrun Marcassini, who's just been rock solid all night. We'll throw in favor of North Mississauga. And unfortunate, Emily Foster. Just hit off her shin pad. Foster entering her 3rd year, the University of Western Ontario, one of my favorite campuses in the OUA. Got to go there 2 years ago. My son's team on the road. No Western away this year. Western's up in the Sioux, so we'll skip Western this year. Chisholm. It's funny hearing the girls chiz or chizzy. And then now, after the goal, Chisholm showing her defensive prowess. So good. Shot from range from Maya Angus. Well, in the 84th minute, why not? 4-0 NDC. It's been a dominant performance. Comfortable right from the get-go. I think everyone in red and white will be pleased with how they played tonight. Again, just so impressed with the communication amongst the girls. You can hear, I'm field side, I can hear everything they're saying. And I wish I had teammates like that. And again, all positive too. You don't hear any criticism, no one complaining if someone misses a pass or anything. But every girl in red shouting out instructions to defenders helping out the midfield helping out their forwards, and the keeper helping out a defense. Just great communication across the board. Emma Donnelly, impressed since coming on. Mellenhorst. And the attack fizzles. And that's Catherine Ozard. She's played with Ottawa South, Whitecaps FC. Well-traveled for this age. Mellenhorst. Tegan crosses in. And you could have made a shout for a handball there, but in the 86th minute with a 4-0 lead, if the ref calls that, it's just cruel. Archer for Dory Anderson. Onside for now on her left foot, Dory Anderson. And Marcassini all over Archer. Ball just couldn't settle for her. So Dory Anderson, since she's come on, has made an impact. Archer from distance. And right in the stomach of Noelle Henning. Henning slows things down. Should get my camera out for the post-game interviews. From range, Archer, she saw Henning a little drifting from that goal line and picked her head up, thought she'd have a crack from distance, but not a bad idea, just didn't get enough on it. Ozard. We'll see a little bit more effort here from North Mississauga to close this out. Don't just allow NDC to carve you up. Colangelo. And Colangelo trying to fight and win that back. And good hustle from Colangelo. Portillo. And Carla, 28-year-old from Mississauga. She'd been a part of the NDC program over 10 years ago, back in 2013. So well aware of what it takes to be a part of this team on NDC, her opponents tonight. Portillo now coaching with Toronto High Park. Coming up on 88 minutes. Archer. It's got Portillo. And then Amaretta gets in the way of it. Sutcliffe. Dangerous ball in, bounces around, and no one can get on the other end of it. And someone on North Mississauga down with a cramp. Looks like Portillo. And Mellenhorst doesn't care. She's looking for her second tonight. And Maya Angus solid all evening as well. I don't anticipate too much injury time because we haven't really had any, nor not much of a stoppage in play for any reason. Henning. Didn't really get the opportunity to see, Henning play the ball at her feet too much to see, how skilled she is in those situations. Everything's just been short passes. And no real pressure from North Mississauga as far as when the ball's been at her feet. And Mellenhorst called a little foul there. No chill in her, which I love. Just 110% right until that end whistle. Dory Anderson. It's been a difference maker for North Mississauga since coming. You wonder, maybe a little earlier, the substitute from distance. And well off. And then right at the 90-minute mark, no extra time added, NDC with a comfortable 4-0 win. Well, appreciate you tuning in. I'm Chris McKee. It was a good one tonight. Great opportunity to see Canada's future stars for our national team program with this NDC, and looking forward to watching them. Don't forget, August 9th to 11th, Interprovincial League One Championship. You'll see NDC there and taking on ladies from BC, Quebec, and I guess Alberta. Well, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget, click subscribe. Stay up to date on all things League One. Until next time, I'm Chris McKee.
And your final score tonight is NDC Ontario 4 and North Mississauga 0. We sincerely thank you for your support today.
So stick around. They're going to do the trophy presentation right now.
We now welcome NDC support.
And so I'll just leave the microphone on and you can hear.
Our women's Premier Division champions with their winners' medals and trophies. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2024 League One Ontario Women's Premier Champions, NDC Ontario!
Good job, Vince. Yeah, I know. Knocked her over. Everybody in?